Have you ever wondered how a simple invention like paper transformed the way we communicate and store information? What would our world look like today if paper never had been invented? How did paper evolve from ancient scrolls to the modern sheets we use every day? The invention of paper is traditionally attributed to Cai Lun, a Chinese court official around 105 AD during the Han Dynasty. Cai Lun is said to have improved the paper-making process by using materials such as mulberry bark, hemp, rags, and fish nets. Before paper, writing materials included bamboo, silk, and wooden tablets, which were either cumbersome or expensive. Cai Lun's method involved breaking down these materials into fibers, mixing them with water, and then pressing and drying them into thin sheets. This innovation provided a more practical and accessible medium for writing and significantly contributed to the spread of literature and knowledge. Ancient China, 105 AD, Cai Lun's invention. The initial invention of paper by Cai Lun used a combination of mulberry bark, hemp, rags, and fish nets, which were pulped, pressed, and dried, spread to Central Asia and the Islamic world, 8th century. After the Battle of Talas in 751 AD, Chinese papermakers were captured by the Abbasid Caliphate. The Islamic world adopted and refined the papermaking process using linen and cotton rags. Introduction to Europe, 11th to 13th century. Paper reached Europe via the Islamic territories in Spain and Italy. The first paper mills were established in these regions in the 12th century using techniques learned from the Arabs. 15th century Gutenberg's printing press, 1440. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg increased the demand for paper. This period saw a transition from rag paper to wood-based paper due to the need for mass production. 17th of 18, the century advancements in papermaking. Innovations such as the Hollander beater, invented in the Netherlands in 1680, improved the efficiency of breaking down raw materials into pulp. First paper mills in America, 1690. Established by William Rittenhouse in Pennsylvania, these mills used linen and cotton rags. 19th century industrialization. The paper industry saw major technological advancements. The Fordrinier machine, patented in 1806 by Henry and Seeley Fordrinier, allowed for continuous production of paper rolls. Wood pulp. The shift from rags to wood pulp began in the mid-19th century. In 1844, Friedrich Gottlob Keller and Charles Fennerty independently developed processes for making paper from wood pulp, making paper production cheaper and more sustainable. Late 19th century chemical pulping. The development of chemical pulping processes, such as the sulfite process, developed in the 1860s, and the Kraft process, invented by Carl F. Dahl in 1879, further improved the quality and durability of paper. Bleaching. The introduction of bleaching processes in the late 19th century allowed for the production of white paper, suitable for writing and printing. Early 20th century mass production and recycling. Advances in automation and recycling technologies increased the efficiency and sustainability of paper production. Recycling paper became common, with significant growth during World War II due to material shortages. Mid-20th, the century specialized papers. Development of various types of paper for specific uses, such as coated papers for high-quality printing and synthetic papers for durability and water resistance. Late 20th century digital age. Impact. The rise of digital media reduced the demand for traditional paper in some areas, but increased the need for specialty papers, such as those used in high-quality printing and packaging. 21st century sustainability focus. Modern papermaking emphasizes sustainable practices, including responsible forestry, recycling, and reducing the environmental impact of production. Advances in biotechnology and material science continue to improve paper quality and production efficiency. The evolution of paper from its ancient origins to the modern age reflects a continuous process of innovation and adaptation. From handmade sheets in ancient China to industrial-scale production, paper has transformed to meet the changing needs of society. Today, the focus is on sustainability and efficiency, ensuring that paper remains a vital medium in the digital age. Mythological connections. China. Legend of Cai Lun. According to Chinese mythology, Cai Lun's inspiration for paper came from observing wasps and hornets. These insects create their nests by chewing plant fibers into a pulp, which they then spread out and allow to dry. Cai Lun mimicked this process in his paper-making technique, Egypt papyrus. While not paper as we know it today, ancient Egyptians created a similar material called papyrus. The mythological connection here is tied to the god Thoth. the deity of writing and knowledge. Thoth was believed to have gifted the Egyptians with the knowledge of creating papyrus sheets from the pith of the papyrus plant. Greece and Rome, parchment. In ancient Greece and Rome, parchment made from animal skins was commonly used. The mythological connection can be linked to Hermes, Greek, or Mercury, Roman, who were both gods of communication and writing. Islamic world Arab contribution. The knowledge of papermaking spread to the Islamic world after the Battle of Talas in 751 AD. Chinese papermakers were captured and shared their techniques. Islamic scholars valuing knowledge and learning further refined the process. This spread of papermaking was sometimes mythologically attributed to divine guidance or blessings from scholars revered in Islamic culture. Cultural impact. The invention of paper revolutionized the way information was recorded and disseminated. It played a crucial role in the development of education, literature, and administration in various cultures around the world. The ability to produce paper relatively cheaply and in large quantities led to an increase in literacy and the preservation of knowledge across generations. In Hindu mythology, there isn't a direct reference to the invention of paper as we know it today, but there are ancient traditions and legends that hint at the use of early writing materials and the significance of recording knowledge. Palm leaf manuscripts, palm leaves and bark. In ancient India, before the advent of paper, texts were commonly written on palm leaves and the bark of certain trees like the birch. These materials were processed and treated to create a smooth surface suitable for writing. Goddess Saraswati, the Hindu goddess of knowledge, music and the arts, is often depicted holding palm leaf manuscripts. She symbolizes wisdom, learning and the written word. The association of Saraswati with these manuscripts underscores their importance in preserving sacred texts, literature and knowledge. Sage Vyasa, the legendary author of the Mahabharata, is believed to have dictated the epic to Lord Ganesha, who wrote it down. While the exact material used isn't specified, it's traditionally thought to be palm leaves or bark. Significance of knowledge and writing, Vedas. The Vedas, ancient sacred texts of Hinduism, were initially transmitted orally. However, they were eventually written down on palm leaves to preserve them for future generations. Manuscript tradition. In ancient and medieval India, a rich tradition of manuscript writing and preservation existed. Manuscripts were often meticulously copied and maintained in libraries and temples. While Hindu mythology and ancient Indian tradition do not specifically mention the invention of paper, they highlight the early use of palm leaves and bark for writing. The emphasis on knowledge, learning, and the preservation of sacred texts reflects the cultural significance of recording and transmitting information, which laid the groundwork for later innovations in writing materials, including paper. The invention of paper, while rooted in historical advancements, also has rich mythological connections that highlight its cultural significance across different civilizations. From the divine inspiration of insects in China to the sacred contributions of gods in Egypt and Greece, the story of paper is as much about human ingenuity as it is about the myths that underscore our quest for knowledge and communication.